Here we are. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Greetings from outside of Oxford, in Wheatley. So let's get started. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Maybe we should also speak one or two verses of the Hanuman Chalisa. Hanuman Chalisa is the, 40 verses in Avadhi language, Avadhi Hindi, glorifying Hanuman. Okay, it starts. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Mukuru Sudhari Varana Raghuvara Bimala Jasu Jo Dayaku Palachari. With the dust of the lotus feet of the Guru, I cleanse the mirror of my mind, and then I sing the glories of Raghuvara, who bestows the fourfold fruits of life. Ragu Vara. Vara means, can mean excellent, it can mean choice. So Ragu Vara, you could say that the excellent Ragu, or could say also the best of the Ragus. So it's a prayer to Lord Rama. I think that was the introductory verse. Oh, there's another. Buddhihina tanu janike sumirao pavana kumara bala buddhi vidya dehu mohi harahu kalesa vikara. Knowing my body to be devoid of intelligence, I remember you, the son of Vayu. Grant me strength, intelligence, and knowledge, and remove all my miseries and impurities. And this is Tulsidas has composed this Hanuman Chalisa. Tulsidas is famous for his Ramcharitmanas, the lake of the mental lake, the lake of the pastimes of Ramcharitmanas, which is the form of the Ramayana, which is most popular in North India. It's most people are more familiar with the Ramcharitmanas than they are with the Valmiki Ramayana, because the Ramcharitmanas is in Hindi, which is to say in this particular dialect of Hindi, Avadhi, but it's been translated into modern Hindi and it's extremely popular. So Tulsidas also composed apparently the Hanuman Chalisa, which is also very popular. Nandi Mukhi, I think you are reciting Hanuman Chalisa, no? You have it memorized? Yeah. There's a nice book with explanations, so many stories that explain the names of Hanuman given in this. It's a book that's been written, compiled by a devotee in Chopati, Subhavilas Prabhu. Subhavilas, and yeah, he's full of stories. Okay, those were two introductory verses. Then comes Jaya Hanumana Jnana Guna Sagara Jaya Kopishatihu Loka Ujagara. Hail Hanuman, an ocean of knowledge and virtues, the Lord of monkeys who illuminates the three worlds. Kapisha, Kapi Isha, Tihuloka Ujagara. Yeah. Let's see, later, maybe we look at one of these stories. And in the meantime, what shall we do? Let's go through and sing a song of Narottama Thakur, shall we? Does anyone have any objections? Today I am harmonium-less, but I am mridanga full. I am having a mridanga, so we can sing that way. All right, let's go to let's go to our song. Would it be desirable if I share the screen with the song, or does everyone have the song? I never know what's the best.
Everyone has a song, Guru Maharaj, they got it on their phone, and also Soumya Karuni Mataji, she always share in the chat, so the song is in the chat.
Okay, so no need to share the screen. That way we can keep seeing all of you. Okay. Then I can do like this and move this like this. All right, we have Srila Narottama Das Thakur ki jai, who has composed the Prarthana collection of songs. And this is the first song, Samprarthanatmika. So Prarthana, I think already talked about, means just prayer. Prartha. Yeah, it's expression of, we could say an expression of desire, of need, of purpose. Artha can mean purpose. And prartha is a strong purpose, a definite purpose, perhaps. And samprarthana, some has the sense of together and also completeness, like Sankirtan. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says one meaning of Sankirtan is complete description. Kirtana can mean description, and complete description is Sankirtan. And it can also mean congregational, so coming together and singing. So here's Samprarthana Atmika. Atmika, how to express that? Maybe we should resort to a dictionary and see if they'll give us exact meaning of this. So bear with me, and we will open up Sanskrit dictionary. Dictionary, there it is. Yes. Atmika, making self. It's interesting. This particular website, sanskritdictionary.com, includes Srila Prabhupada's word-for-word meanings for given words. It's quite amazing, this website. But I should warn you, so to say, that if you want to look up a word on sanskritdictionary.com, you will need to have need to be able to type in diacritic marks, because otherwise it doesn't work, at least with the IAST system. There's different systems. There's Harvard, Kyoto, iTrans, SLP1, I don't know. And then even Devanagari. But also, if you're trying to look up, it depends what you're looking for, but it helps to know some Sanskrit, some Sanskrit grammar, to know, for example, if you're looking for a verb, you're not going to find it in an you'll have to look for it in its root form. And it's the verbal root. And then that means you need to know what is the root first. So it can be a little tricky. Anyway, here it says, what does it say? Oh, it's only giving, Prabhupada gives several, no, okay. Atmikaha, as the embodiment, atmikam, composed of. Okay, I think that would be the meaning. Consisting of, yeah, consisting of, that makes sense. Sat asat atmikam, consisting of cause and effect. So Samprarthanatmika, consisting of a full prayer, or a full collection of prayers, perhaps. So, what is this first song? Radha Krishna, Nivedana Jana kore, duhu ati rasamoy, sakaruna doya, avadhāna koro, nātha more. O Radha and Krishna, this person presents an appeal before you. So Jana, Jon in Bengali, modern Bengali pronunciation, Jon. This person presents an appeal, Nivedana, to you, Radha Krishna. You are both very charming and full of nectar. Duhu ati rasamoy. Sakarun hridoy. And your hearts are full of compassion. My lords, please listen to my request. So duhu means you two, the two of you. Rasamoy means full of, moya, or consisting of, rasa. And ati means very much. You are very much consisting of rasa. And sakarun hridoya. Karuna means mercy or compassion, or yeah. And sa means with. And hridoya means heart. Your hearts are full of compassion. Because this is Bengali and not Sanskrit, so there's much less concern. There's less sort of details in the grammatical forms. So it's more simple. Avadhāna means, it means attention. There's a word shabdan, which is sa avadhāna, with attention. It means in modern Bengali, I guess also Hindi, attention, watch out, shabdan. Avadhāna koro, nātha more. So the koro is the imperative, do avadhāna, please pay attention. Nātha, O Lord, to me, please pay attention to me. Please listen to my request. Hey Krishna Gokula Chandra Gopi Jana Vallabha. Hey Krishna Preyasī Shiromani. Hema gaurī śyāma gāya śravane paraśa pāya guna shuni judai parani. O dark complexion Krishna, O moon of Gokula, Gokula Chandra. And Krishna, the name Krishna implies dark complexioned, that he is darkish. Gopījana vallabha, O lover of the gopis. We get the word Jana again, gopījana. The gopi people. It has a collective sense also, all of the gopis. Vallabha, you who sport with the gopis, we can say. O golden complexioned Radha. Hey, what is it? Complex, dark complex, lover of the gopis, golden complexion Radha. Crest jewel of the gopis. Okay, that's in the next line. Hey Krishna preyasī śiromani. No, how does that work? Crest jewel of the gopis who are so dear to Krishna. Preyasī, dear to Krishna. Krishna preyasī śiromani. Okay, this is all referring to Radha. When I hear the glories of your transcendental virtues, my heart becomes pacified. Hema gaurī, this is golden. Golden. Śyāma gāya. Śravane paraśa pāya. Śravane, when hearing. Paraśa, I think, is from sparsha, to touch. When I hear the glories of your transcendental virtues, guna, shuni, judai, prani. My heart becomes judai. So prani, I think, is referring to the heart, and judai is pacified. Then, verse 3, Adama durgata jane, kevala karuna mone, tribhuvane e jasho keyati. Shunya sadhur mukke, sharano loyinu suke, upekile nahi mor goti. Hearing from the devotees' mouths that you are very merciful to the fallen and miserable, I joyfully take shelter of you. If you neglect me, I have no place to go. So Adama has a sense of with no place, Dhamma. Now that's Dhamma, but Adama seems to have kind of that sense of someone very unfortunate. Durgata, who has gone to a bad place. Dur, distant, actually. Dur means distant. Jone, to a person. Keva karuna mone. Karuna, again, mercy. Kevala, only. So it could be like exclusively. Mone. Mone, how could that be here? From the devotees' mouths, tribhavane jasha kayati. So the fame, this fame, jasha kayati. Okay, that's from kyati in Sanskrit, kyati, and it means is spoken, is said, I think. Tribhuvane, in the three worlds, and mone, I'm not sure, in the mind, I would think, but I'm not sure. So I've heard, you're famous for, it is said that in all the three worlds, you are merciful, karuna, to folks like me, Jana. You can also translate as folk. Then shunya sadur mukhe. Having heard shunya from the mouth, mukhe, of the sadhus, or of a sadhu, sharana loyinu sukhe. In happiness, sukhe, loyinu, I took, I think it's past tense. What did I take? Sharana, I took shelter. If you neglect me, I have no place to go. Upekile nahi more gati. So my goal, my direction, gati, nahi, there is not. Upekile, if you neglect. This is from Sanskrit, upekshana, upekshile. Upeksha. Neglect. Neglect, it can mean sort of neutrality, sort of avoiding. Yes. What is it? Ishvare tat adineshu balisheshu dvishatsu cha prema maitri tri kripa upeksha. These are the four ways that the madhyama adhikari, the middle level devotee, interacts or doesn't interact with others. So ishvare tat adineshu balisheshu dvishatsu. So the first is the Lord, Isha. The second is the devotees, Ishvare tat adineshu, those who are not fallen, balisheshu, those who are sort of childlike, in other words, innocent, and dvishatsu, those who are envious, who are averse. Then how to respond? Prema, maitri, kripa, upeksha, in that order. One cultivates prema for the Lord, maitri, friendship with the devotees, kripa, mercy, another word for mercy, with the innocent, and upeksha, neglect or avoidance of those who are averse. So here, if you neglect me, upekile, nahi more gati, I have no place to go. Then Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Radhe Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Jaya Jaya Radhe. Anjali mastake dhari, Narottama bhume bhori, kohe donghe urao mona sadhe. O Radha, all glories to you. O Krishna, all glories to you. O Radha and Krishna, all glories to you. O Krishna, all glories to you. O Radha, all glories to you. Narottama Das places his folded hands upon his head and falls to the ground before you. Please fulfill the desires of his heart. So the first half of this verse is lots of fun. It's almost like the Maha Mantra. And I would imagine Narottama Das Thakura having fun when he composed it. Fun and probably lots of intense ecstatic feeling as well. Then Anjali. Anjali means the two hands together. This is Anjali. And mastake, on the head. So apparently he's going like this. Dhari, holding. Narottama bhume pori. Bhume, on the earth. Pori, falling. My guess is that would be poriya, if there were an apostrophe there. So Narottama falls on the earth with his hands above his head. Kohe, and he says, donghe, to the two of you. Let's see. Purao, please fulfill. And mono sadhe. So mona in this case is translated as heart, mind, heart, kind of all the same thing. And sadhe, I guess, he's translating as desires. Kohe, donhe. Purao. Purao, like go, is in the imperative form, but it's a polite imperative. Please. Please fulfill my desires. All right, what shall we do now? Let's try. I don't know if I can do this so well, but we'll try it with Sri Madanga. We have a Madanga mantra here somewhere. We should invoke. Let's see. Probably won't find it when I'm looking for it, but I can try. Yes, there it is. Here we go. Mridanga Brahma Rupaya Lavanyam Rasamaduri. Sahasraguna Samyuktam Mridangaya Namo Namaha. Obeisance to Mridanga. Repeated obeisance. In the form of Brahman. The sound of Brahman, I guess, is there. Which is lavanyam, charming, and which is rasamadhuri, sweet, full of sweet rasa, since it's a form of Krishna's flute. And sahasra guna samyuktam, it is endowed with thousands of qualities, of virtues. Okay. The first verse is with 3 lines instead of 4. Radha Krishna Nivedana e Jana kore. This is in Tripadi form, like the Guru Puja song, which is from Narottama. But this first part, I think we do just Radha Krishna Nivedana e Jana kore. Radha Krishna Nivedana e Jana kore. Duhu ati rasamoy sakaruna doya avadhāna koro nātha more duha ati rasamoy sakaruna doya avadhāna koro nātha more. Maybe I should break it up. Hey Krishna, gokula, candra, gopījana, vallabha. We can repeat. Hey Krishna, gokula, candra, gopījana, vallabha. Hey Krishna, preyasī śiroman. Hey Krishna, preyasī śiroman. I just remembered I'm supposed to switch, but the switch is not there to music sound. How does that work? Oh well. I hope this sounds okay. Hema gaurī, śyāma gāya, śravane, paraśa pāya. Hema gaurī, śyāma gāya, śravane, paraśa pāya. Guna shuni, judai parani. Guna shuni, judai parani. Adaman durgata jane, evala karuna mone. Adama durgata jane, kevala karuna mane. Tribhuvane ejasha keyati. Tribhuvane ejasha keyati. Shuniya sadhura mukhe sharana loyina sukhe. Shuniya sadhura mukhe sharana loyina sukhe. Upekile nahi mora gati. Upekile nahi mora gati. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Radhe Krishna, Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Jaya Jaya Radhe. Krishna Krishna, Jaya Jaya Radhe. Anjali Mastake Dari, Narottama Bhume Pari. Anjali Mastak, Anjali Mastake Dori, Narottama Bhume Pari. Kohe Don He Puraum. How does that? Kohe Don He Puraum Manasade. Kohe Don He Puraum Manasade. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Radhe Krishna, Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna Jaya Jaya Radhe. Krishna Krishna, Jai Jai Radhe, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Gora Hare Bo, Nitai Gora Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Gora Hare Bo. Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Jai Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Jaya Jaya Radhe. That's fun. Srila Narottama Das Thakura ki Jai. So, again, welcome to all of you, each and every one, including, maybe I should say hello to you individually this time. I don't do so often. Nandimukhi is here in Singhachalam and Haribo and Surya Kunda in Zagreb, or as Prabhupada would probably say, Jagreb. And Madhapuri in Mendoza. And Odarya Chandrika all the way from Dubai, otherwise known as, I forget, something Dham.
Damodar
Desh, okay. And Martina is here from Berlin. And Soumya Karani is here from somewhere around, but not exactly in Amsterdam. And Dira Lalita is here from Bushi, near Bhaktivedanta Manor. And Arunodai Shri is here from somewhere near Bushi, I suppose we could say. And Daityesha is here from south of Mendoza. How far south? Long way south. Not so far. And Hiranya Pandit is with us from Helsinki. And Tia is with us all the way from Brooklyn, the land of the brooks. Nice. And Andaka is with us. Are you in Japan, Andaka? Wow.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Japan.
Japan. Nippon. I think Japanese call it Nippon, isn't it?
Yeah, there are Nippon, there is Nihon.
Ah.
Nihon, I think Nihon is like most Japanese way.
Nihon.
Nihon. The land of rising sun.
Right. Yes. It's the most holy place.
Very nice place.
And we have Prema Sarovara and Gauranataraj in transit in Beijing, going somewhere or coming from somewhere. And we have Yeritza. Is that how we pronounce your name? Yeritza. I think you're in Maribor. Is that right? No. Somewhere in Slovenia.
Yes, somewhere in Slovenia, near Maribor. It's near Maribor.
Near Maribor. Good, Maribor. Nice, you could join us. And we have Ananda Mayi all the way from not Lublin, near Lublin, somewhere southeast, yes, in Poland. And we have Sitarani in Hong Kong, on the extreme north border of Hong Kong, or you're at the office in the temple. Yes.
I can't.
Sorry, I'm at home today.
You're at home. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's very close to the China border. And and there's Mitra Balaram in some strange place like Trier.
Indeed.
Huh?
Indeed.
Indeed. Okay. And Esther from Pula.
Actually, Valtura now. I'm living in Valtura, actually.
Oh, you're living in Valtura.
Yeah.
Oh, the Holy Land. You've moved up to the Holy Land.
Yes.
Okay. And Natalia in Vienna. Hare Krishna, Natalia. Nice. You join us. And Bhagavati is in, I believe, in Leicester.
Still in Leicester, yeah.
Still in Leicester. We have an idea to come to Leicester in a couple of weeks and to visit also the Ahimsa farm. And then there's Hriday Ram, Hare Krishna. He's also in transit somewhere.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Somewhere around.
I'm in the Novigrad.
Okay.
In the Novigrad in Istria today.
Uh-huh. Very good.
All the traveling. Yeah. Come with friends, some helping him, and come back to Pula today afternoon.
Okay. And Divya Darshini is here in Rijeka, I would guess, or else Zagreb. And there is Mangala Chandrika in, let me guess, Radhadesh.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Although my children, since we moved, they say we're not in Radhadesh anymore, but I believe we're close.
Oh, okay. Right. And who else? Oh, Gora Chandra, is that you? GC? Gora Chandra, all the way from Florianopolis in Brazil. In Brazil. Yeah. Okay. And then, oh, we have Rasodari Hari in Zagreb, sort of Zagreb, outside Zagreb. And we have Mandali in somewhere near Rijeka. Yeah. Always with an interesting background. And Kavi Chandra in Wrocław, right? otherwise for the Germans known as Breslau. And Kirtida Jivani is in, what's the name of the city?
Mar del Plata.
Mar del Plata, yes. Nice. And Rajalilavati not in Pula, in Pula, yes?
In Fajana.
In Fajana, okay, near
Today.
Pula.
Near Pula.
And Boma Brindavan, somewhere in Serbia.
In Belgrade.
In Belgrade.
Yes,
okay. We won't hold it against you.
Okay. Please don't.
And Nritya Kishori, dancing Kishori in somewhere in Czech Republic. I don't remember the name of the place, but somewhere.
Jihlava.
Jihlava. Okay. No wonder I don't remember it. Good. And Shravana Ramaniya looks like you're in your kitchen around the corner from the Panchatattva temple in Ljubljana.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ljubljana, the city of love. And the organization on my screen keeps changing when we speak. But then there's Daksha Kanya Mataji in Buenos Aires. Yes. And there's Yamuna somewhere near Golokadam. Somewhere near. In, what is the town called? I forget.
It's called Brücken.
Brücken, okay.
Almost like Brooklyn.
Yes. Brücken and Brooklyn. And Mathura Mohan, wow, is with us all the way from Mendoza, yes?
No. I am in Cubellas, Barcelona, Spain.
Oh, okay. Wow, nice.
Yes, in the new house.
You've settled there now. Living there now.
Yes.
Okay. Bueno. And there's Mahima Mayi, who is south of Rijeka, I would think. Welcome, Mahima Mayi. And Malati Mala, who is in, what's it called?
Daruvar, but now we are in Valtura at the moment.
Oh, you're in Valtura, right. Okay, Daruvar, Valtura. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Aribo and Madai Jivan, who is, are you still at Singachalam or you're back in Poland? I don't remember now. Still in Singachalam, maybe. He's not exactly there. And Mamata Mayi is in Helsinki. And Prananath Hari is also somewhere in Czech Republic. Oh, Prananath Hari is near Krishnavdur, I would think.
Hare Krishna, Guru
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who is that photo of?
This is a random photo.
Huh?
Random photo.
Your grandfather?
Oh, something like this.
Something like that. Okay. And we have Davorin, who is either in Ljubljana or in somewhere in Austria. And There you are. Hare Krishna Davarin. And Ajitendra is in, let's just say Istria. I always forget the name of the place. Kaylee. Oh.
Vodnyan.
Vodnyan, of course.
Vodnyan, yes.
How can I forget Vodnyan?
Yeah. Dignano at Italian.
Nice. And there's Kaylee Parayana Sevini, who is also in Mendoza. We have quite a little group in Mendoza.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kaylee Parayana.
Hare Krishna.
And we have Madhyana Lila, who might be in Ljubljana. And then again, she might be in Ljubljana.
Actually,
Huh?
I'm not in Ljubljana.
Oh.
At the moment, I'm in Slavonia, in Croatia, in my parents' home.
Okay. Good. Greetings to your parents.
Thank you.
And we have all the way from Mayapur, Lalitamrita and Akinchana Balaram. Hare Krishna. Nice. And we have Galaxy A12. I forget who that is. Somebody who does not want to be identified. Okay. The mystery, it's the galaxy itself. Maybe the galaxy itself is listening in. And then we have someone who is behind a message, so I can't see. Oh, Ratnavali is with us. Okay. In London, I presume. And then we have Bhuvana Chandrika, also in Mendoza. And then we have Raja Mohini in, where are you now, Raja Mohini?
Hare Krishna, I'm in Krishna Valley for one more month, Guru
Oh,
Maharaj.
right. Okay. For another month. Good.
Yes.
Okay. So it's working out for you there.
Yes, it's not always easy, but it's very nice.
Okay. And we have, it keeps changing, so it's okay. Bhuvana there's Bharat, who is possibly in Beijing or in Shanghai, not sure. And there's Katyayani, who is in the north, what is it called? Galicia, the northwest of Spain. And there's this mysterious Bhakti Sanga, otherwise known as Avadhuta Rai, in Novi Sad, I presume. And there's Dharma Mayi, all the way from Montevideo, I presume. Rama Avatar is with us as well from Rijeka. And who did I miss? I missed... and Mukunda Mala is with us also, all the way from Vistkiki, we could say, Wubno, and otherwise Sadhu Bhavan, Sadhu Gram, actually, Sadhu Gram. Okay, who did I miss? Did I miss anyone? I hope I didn't miss anyone. All right. Anyway, glad to see you all again. Where am I now? As I said, I'm in Oxford. We have very nice weather today. In England, when the weather is this nice, and then everyone is completely stunned because it's so rare. They just don't know how to relate practically. So what are we doing today? Well, first of all, we can do some show and tell. I can say a bit about what I've been doing the last week. I've been here in Oxford, and as you know, we have a center called the Oxford Center for Hindu Studies, and so I like to spend some time here each year as I'm able to sort of reconnect with everyone. And I attend some classes, some lectures that different scholars are giving, and it's interesting for me, and sometimes can be quite relevant to something I'm working on. So this last week, I attended, well, on Thursday was kind of a busy day. I attended a reading, a Sanskrit reading that's being done by Gopinath Acharya. He's a very, very good Sanskritist, and the reading is of a collection of 22 verses by Vedanta Deshika. Vedanta Deshika was one of the very prominent leaders of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya tradition after the time of Ramanuja. So Ramanuja Acharya is considered very much the founder Acharya, but Vedanta Deshika, or what's his other name? In any case, he's extremely prolific. He wrote so many things. So we're reading something very short from him, in which he's giving instructions on the importance of what they call prapatti. Prapatti is, they make a distinction between bhakti and prapatti. Bhakti, according to the Sri Vaishnava tradition, is what you do if you are quite qualified, first of all, in terms of birth. So if you're born into the Varna system, I believe even it's restricted to the three upper Varnas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya. And if you have other qualifications, there's several qualifications kind of expected. And if you are determined enough, then you can practice bhakti. But if you're not qualified in all these different ways, then what to do? Is our case hopeless? No, they say our case is not at all hopeless. What we can do is we can simply surrender to the Lord. And in a kind of formal process of surrender, one says essentially, now, O Lord, I am yours, and it is now up to you to save me. But then, okay, now I've done this prapatti, now what? What should I do now? Well, then it turns out you do so many of the practices of bhakti. So it kind of ends up being the same thing. The Sri Vaishnavas very much celebrate what we are familiar with from Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekang Sharanang Vraja Ahang Tvang Sarva Papyevyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shucha. That Krishna, in a kind of imperative case. He says, just surrender to me, having given up all sorts of dharma. And if you do this, then what? Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam. Surrender to me only. Sharanam vraja. The vraja is the imperative. Just go to me. Go to the shelter of me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. From all sins, mokshayishyami, I will liberate you. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. Ma shuchaha. And ma is again in an imperative form. Do not. Shucha, don't lament, don't fear, don't be in anxiety. So Vedanta Deshika is giving some explanation of the importance of surrender and how to do it. So we read one verse and discussed it in this class. And then I attended a Bengali reading session with another devotee, Lalita Madhava Prabhu. He is very much focused on our Bengali tradition in his research. He did his doctoral dissertation on Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he's quite competent in Bengali language. So he is working on, he's reading a text which is less known. I've forgotten the title of it, but it's a work by a descendant of Janavadevi. Janavadevi is one of the two wives of Nityananda Prabhu, and she became, in effect, the leader of the Vaishnavas after the departure of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu. She became very prominent and very influential. So one of the descendants in the disciplic line from her has written something which is describing the process of worship, but in a very esoteric kind of way. So one is meditating as one is offering each of the different items. One is turning each of these into a meditation, a devotional meditation. So we read a few of the verses from that. That was nice. And then on the same day in the afternoon was a lecture by one lady scholar who is associated with the center, who is studying, she wrote a book on the subject, taking the notion in Bhagavad Gita of stita prajna. In chapter 2, you'll find toward the end, I think it's verse 54, Arjuna asks Krishna, stita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhi stasya keshava stita di king prabhashita kim asita racheta kim. So stita prajna, Arjuna is asking, what are the qualities, what are the features, characteristics of someone who is stita prajna? What is that, stita prajna? Well, prajna means wise or wisdom, and stita means fixed or standing. Someone who is fixed in wisdom. How do I recognize someone who is spiritually advanced? And then Krishna replies the remaining, I think it's 19 verses of chapter 2. So our scholar, Ashvini, I forget her last name, has done a comparison of this idea of wisdom with the ancient Greek and then Roman idea of wisdom in the Stoic tradition. She's written a book about that. So that was interesting. Comparison. There was also a lecture, I think it was the day before that, or 2 days before, by Jessica Fraser. She's also a scholar of the center, and she is very focused on analytical philosophy, and she's very good at it. She was discussing something she's working on. She's writing a book. She explained to me she wants to, in a sense, justify from the perspective of modern analytical philosophy, the notion of Brahman, that there is an absolute reality. In effect, there is a foundation to reality, because nowadays postmodern philosophy is often called anti-foundationalist. They want to reject the idea that there's any ultimate substance. And this goes along with, it's sort of, this anti-foundationalism is represented, you could say, very much in Buddhist traditions of Shunyavada, the idea that there is a kind of ultimate emptiness, shunyata. So she's arguing against that. And so that's very interesting, because we followers of Srila Prabhupada, we worship Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. We worship he who is the deliverer, Tarin, of Paschatya Desha, of Western lands, but we might want to say all lands, not just Western lands. And West is anyway a relative term. From what? From Nirvishesha Shunyavada, or Shunyavadi, those who hold that there is ultimately no foundation. You could sort of summarize Nirvishesha Shunyavada in that way. Anyway, so that was an interesting presentation also, much of which I could not follow because it was moving fast and it was a lot of Western modern philosophers that she was referring to. Anyway, then what else have I been doing? I've been picking away at this, or trying to work on my book on yoga and animal ethics. And I can say I finished, pretty much finished a first draft of the first chapter. Ha! Hari Hari. And I've started sketching out what I want to do in the second chapter. So there you go. Hare Krishna. Enough from me. What's from you? Any news? We're just kind of taking it easy today, I think. Anybody have some show and or tell? Or show and tell? Any news from the north, the south, the east, or the west? Or any other part of the universe? Everyone's being quiet. Okay. Oh, there's something in the chat, I guess. Okay. Oh, okay, this is nice. Avadhuta Rai is giving us a definition from Jiva Goswami of Samprarthana. Prayers that have the purpose of firming the mind and senses in devotional service are known as Samprarthana. Such prayers are characteristic of those who have not attained bhava. On the other hand, expressions of a desire for one's specific personal service, siddha deha, are known as lalasa. These prayers are characteristic of those who have attained bhava. And then he has a question, does this mean Narottama was below the level of bhava when he wrote his prarthana prayers? Well, I wouldn't want to say that, but I would rather say that he's writing prayers for us to sing, to chant, to sing. And, but at the same time, it's also very possible that himself, despite being on the level of bhava, was feeling himself to be not on the level of bhava, that he was feeling himself to be less qualified. And of course, in the song, what does he, in this song, what does he say? Karuna Horidoy. He says, where is it? Yes, Adama in the third verse. Adama Durgata Jane, Hevala Karuna Mone. So he's identifying himself as being Adama, Adhama, and Durgata as sort of lowly and Durgata, distant, gone far away, you could say, from the shelter of the Lord, Durgata. I think it could also mean difficult, one who's, for whom it is difficult to go in the right direction toward the Lord, could be a way of saying. So I wouldn't want to say that Narottama Das wrote this before being in bhava. Okay. Well, if no one has anything you want to share, then what I would like to do, we have been reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, but I want to make a big jump back to the Bhagavatam. And my reason for this is slightly motivated, only slightly. Let's see. Yeah. So, I want to go to Canto 5 and of all places, chapter 16, which is a description of Buddha. Why would I want to do that? And you would be right to be asking, because because it's not something that I would generally spend a lot of time on, these descriptions of the universe. But now I feel a kind of necessity to do so. And the reason is that I've been invited, and it looks like I'm going to accept the invitation, to give a presentation this next November in Gainesville, Florida, USA, with the Bhaktivedanta Institute of Higher Studies, as they call themselves, as they're having a conference. They're holding a conference on Vedic cosmology. And why do they ask me to present? That's the question I was asking myself. Why do you ask me? I don't have anything to do with this. I'm not a scientist. So they explain, we want you because you wrote a foreword to our book, which is coming out soon. They've written a book, they've compiled a book on flat Earth, round Earth. Is the Earth flat? Well, some might want to say it is. Is the Earth round, that is spherical? Yeah, also. Is it both? Is it neither? What is it? How to understand. So they asked me to write a foreword to that book, which I did, a short foreword. And now this foreword has gotten me into trouble, meaning now they're going to expect something more serious from me. The foreword, I could sort of just speak in very general ways and say, yes, it's a really good thing that this is being discussed. So let's do it. You don't have to say more than that. But now they want me to come. So now I think, gosh, I have to really delve into this whole topic now. I have to have something to say about it. And so to sort of get me started, here we are. Yes, can you see this?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Okay. All right, so this is starting with verse number 3. And that's Maharaj Parikshit speaking. Okay, so this is part of his question. When the mind, these are prose, they're not verses. Bhagavato gunamaye stula rupa aveshitam mano hyagune api sukshmatama atma jyotishi pare brahmani bhagavati vasudevakye kshamang aveshitum tat haitat guror hasyanuvarnaitum iti. When the mind is fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his external feature, made of the material modes of nature, the gross universal form, it is brought to the platform of pure goodness. So the mind is brought to the platform of pure goodness when it's fixed on the Lord in his external form. That's interesting. In that transcendental position, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva, who, in his subtler form, is self-effulgent and beyond the modes of nature. Oh, my Lord, please describe vividly how that form, which covers the entire universe, is perceived. Right. And Prabhupada's purport, he quotes Rupa Goswami, okay, to emphasize that everything, including what is so-called material, is connected with the Lord, prapanchikataya buddhya, etc. And therefore, everything should be engaged in the service of the Lord. Actually, he's not giving a translation of the verse here. He's summarizing the point. Kind of indirectly. Okay, then he quotes Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. And his translation of this verse, Hari Sevai Jaha Hoy Anukul Vishaya Bhavya Tahar Jage Hoy Bhula. One should not give up anything connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thinking it material or enjoyable for the material senses. Okay. So then the point is made. He, why would Maharaj Parikshit care about, hearing about the universe? He's trying to prepare himself to go back to Godhead. Why does he need to hear about this? Well, his mind is situated at least in goodness. And in any case, he was thinking of the world in relation to the Lord. And so for him, it becomes interesting. Such geographical knowledge was not material, but transcendental. Okay. Yeah, so this identification of the Lord, the universe with the Lord, is kind of a key point, I think, in all of this. One can easily get lost in the particulars, but what is the point? The point is it's all part of the Lord. But still, the king, Maharaj Parikshit, wants to know the particulars. Prabhupada takes a kind of tangent from this. We're dealing in our movement with property, money, books, bought and sold, but it's all related to Krishna, and therefore it's spiritual. Just keep to the regulative principles, chant 16 rounds. Then your dealings with the material world for the sake of spreading Krishna consciousness is not different from the spiritual cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Okay. All right, then, Rishi Uvacha. So, who is the Rishi? Well, of course, it's going to be Shukadev Goswami, but it's interesting that he's referred to here simply as Rishi. Navai Maharaja, Bhagavato, Maya Guna Vibhute, Kashtang, Manasa Vachasa, Bhadigantum, alam vibudhayushapi purushas tasmat pradhan yenaiva bu golaka vishesham nama rupamana lakshanato śyāma. So he's declaring śyāma. I shall try to explain. I will explain. Okay, translation. The great Rishi Shukadeva Goswami said, my dear king, there's no limit to the expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's material energy. This material world is a transformation of the material qualities, sattva, raja, tamaguna, yet no one could possibly explain it perfectly, even in a lifetime as long as that of Brahma. So Vibhuda Ayusha means the lifetime of Brahma. That's a long time. And he says it's not possible to describe the world comprehensively, even if you have a lifetime that long. So should we give up? Well, no, he's going to try anyway. No one in the material world is perfect, and an imperfect person could not describe this material universe accurately, even after continued speculation. O king, I shall nevertheless try to explain to you the principal regions, such as Bhuloka, with their names, forms, measurements, and various symptoms. Now, if I remember correctly, it must be at the end of this whole description, whether it's the end of this chapter or series of chapters, that Shukadeva Goswami is going to say, in effect, well, that's what I've heard. I'm just describing to you what I've heard. He's not claiming to, even he is not claiming to comprehend it, but he's giving some he's giving a description. He's carrying over the description that he has heard. Prabhupada reminds us something that's mentioned all the way back in the Purusha Sukta prayer of the Rig Veda, that the material world is 1/4 of the creation. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishvato Atyatishtat Dasangulam Purusha Evedagam Sarvam Yat Inchadatam Dagat Tena Tyaktena. No, that's I'm mixing things up. I just went into the Ishopanishad. Okay, I'm out of practice. I used to chant Purusha Sukta. Then he's talking about the shortcomings of the modern scientists. Actually, if you read, now and then one can come across some news item related to space exploration. And, you know, sometimes it's quite intriguing. One thing that's intriguing is the distances that they describe. Something taking, you know, 1,000,000 light years before we know about it. So stars exploding, and we see it 1,000,000 light years later, things like that. What I was reading the other day is a prediction. Hopefully we won't be around to see this if it happens, but a prediction that our sun, when it gets old, it's going to expand and is going to become as big as the orbit of the Earth. So the estimate, they say that the sun is some 93 million miles. Of course, it's different distances depending where the Earth is in relation to the sun, but I don't know, average. Anyway, like 90 million miles we are from the sun. Kilometers, a lot more than that. So imagine the sun expanding out to that distance. And then, of course, by that time, everything on this planet is completely cooked, if it even exists anymore. When is that going to happen? I don't know, some billions of years. Rasa, you want to comment on these things?
If it's helpful, Guru Maharaj, I can send you something I got on Facebook from a devotee who studied the physics, and he also studied the Bhagavatam. Maybe he can help you. And just regarding this, I have on my other computer that he said that I also learned that the law of Newton physics, which we learn in school, are working with acceptable precision only on material objects comparable to human body size. Anything smaller than micrometer, I don't know how to say
micrometer, yeah.
Micrometer, or more than 10,000 miles in size, those rules produce faulty calculations. They even say this in the school.
Those rules what?
Produce faulty calculations.
Oh, produce faulty calculations. Okay.
So
yeah, they didn't tell.
Many other things I can send you if you want later. Maybe can help you for your presentation. Like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. What I'm thinking of, I told them I have a tentative title for my presentation. What did I call it? The Vedic cosmology and the hermeneutics of wonder, or which tree are we barking up? And that's kind of that's an English expression. Barking up the wrong tree. Do you know that expression? To bark up the wrong tree is to, it's like a dog. A dog is chasing a squirrel. And the squirrel, of course, is faster, and the squirrel takes shelter of a tree. It runs up a tree, and then the dog is at the base of the tree and keeps looking up the tree and is barking. But by that time, what the dog doesn't know is that the squirrel has jumped to another tree. So the dog is, foolishly barking at this tree, and the squirrel is not even there. So to bark up the wrong tree is to be looking in the wrong direction for something. The other example that we have, Srila Prabhupada tells the story, which I think Bhaktisiddhanta Thakura, it's a famous story in India, the drunken man at night looking for his keys outside of his house. He can't find them. Others come and try to help him. They're looking all around the street lamp. They're not finding. And then someone asks him, well, did you drop your keys here? And he says, no, I'm just looking here because the light is here. It's like, what is the point? So which tree are we barking up? In other words, where are we looking to understand these descriptions? Are we looking in the right way, in the right direction? And this doubt always comes to my mind because I understand from the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, chapter 3, descriptions, there's a list of practices which are called samyama, meditations where you focus on one or another object, and then it lists what are the results of each of these meditations when you perfect them. And one of the results of one of the meditations, I think it's meditation on one's spinal column. The perfection of that is that one will understand the structure of the universe. So to me, what that means is unless we, go deep into a yogic meditation as described there, then how are we ever going to understand? So what can we do? Well, we can wonder. And I think this is a major theme of the entire Bhagavatam, is Adbhuta Dharma, as it's called in one form of Chinese Buddhism. But yes, you can send things to me and we'll see what to do with it. Okay, then we get some specifics. Yo vayam dvipaha kuvalaya kamala kosha yantara kosho niyutta yojana vishala samavartulo yata pushkara patram. The planetary system known as Bhumandala resembles a lotus flower, and its 7 islands resemble the whorl of that flower. The length and breadth of the island known as Jambudvipa, which is situated in the middle of the whorl, are 1,000,000 yojanas. Right, here we go with some measurements. Kuvalaya kamala kosha abhyantara kosha niyutta yojana vishalaha. Niyutta means 1,000,000. Vishala, I think, means width or extent. Jambudvip is round like the leaf of a lotus flower. Yata pushkara patram. Yes, some lotus flower leaves. I'm sure there's many different kinds of lotuses, but some of them are practically round. There's no purport to this. Srila Prabhupada, as I understand, he translated this. I think he took some help also from other translation in Hindi. And he kind of left it to the scientists. He said, you figure it out, what it all means. Yasmin Navavarshani Nava Yojana Sahasrayam Yan Yashtabir Maryada Giribhi Suvibhaktani Bhavanti. Excuse Excuse me. So in Jambudvipa, there are 9 divisions of land, each with a length of 9,000 yojanas, or 72,000 miles. There are 8 mountains that mark the boundaries of these divisions and separate them nicely. Then he gives, Prabhupada gives a comment from, or a quote, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur supplies from the Vayu Purana. And he doesn't translate it. He just gives it as it is. And leaves it up. If you want to translate it, that's fine. Now, the length of a yojana is here presumed to be 8 miles, which is what, sort of 16 kilometers, not 16, 12, 14 kilometers maybe. But there are different opinions about what is the length of a yojana. So, well, I suppose we could look at that. Okay, let's do that. Bear with me. Oops. There. Do you see this change of screen or not? I think maybe I left you with Bhagavatam.
We can see nothing right now, Guru Maharaj. It's black.
Oh, okay. Then what I would have to do to show you, let me show you, why not? Stop share. Okay, and then we'll share again. And this time we go here. Okay, so this is the quite useful online Sanskrit dictionary. So this is an easy word to search because there are no diacritic marks, so yojana. And then these scholars, where are they from? I forgot now. They offer different things. Amarakosha, Monier Williams, and you can see they, and then Apte, McDonnell, Vedic Index, Bloomfield, Vedic Concordance. And then Srila Prabhupada, Veda base. So if we start with that, we'll see Prabhupada consistently says a distance of 8 miles. And we can see what Monier Williams says. First he says, joining, yoking, harnessing. That which is yoked or harnessed, a team, a vehicle, a course or a path. And then with the 4th one, we get the measure of distance. Measure of distance, sometimes regarded as equal to 4 or 5 English miles, but more correctly, what is it? More correctly, More correctly, 4 kroshas, or about 9 miles. According to other calculations, 2.5 English miles, and according to some, 8 kroshas. And that indicates where that's from. Well, Rig Veda, but where in the Rig Veda, he doesn't tell us. Okay, I thought he gives more options, but that's all. Whoops, what happened? Oh, sorry, that's something else. Okay, anyway, let me stop that and see if you want to say anything. Anybody have any realizations about the form of this universe you want to share with us? Anyone who has visited anyone have any memories of visiting other planets? One thing I've noticed from listening to lectures of Prabhupada is when he talks about the universe, there's basically 2 or 3 points that he wants to make. One is that the entire universe is populated. There are living beings everywhere, including the sun. And a second point he makes is you can go anywhere in the universe that you want. Just you can qualify yourself and you can go. And for that, he almost always quotes Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitri vrata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti mam yajino pimam. You can go you can go to the demigods, you can go to the Pitris, you can go to the Bhuttas, or you can go to the Lord. All is possible. And the point of that, of course, is why would you want to waste your time going to this place or that place when you can go to the Lord? So these, to me, are the kind of 3 points that Prabhupada makes. He wrote, it was his first book in English, to my knowledge, or did he write his first Bhagavad Gita? He wrote, Easy Journey to Other Planets. And that's really the point that he's making. He was inspired to write that book because he was hearing the news about the Russian Sputnik. When was that? 1950 something, 59? I don't remember. That was huge. That was huge news in America because for political reasons. Because America was sort of locked into this so-called Cold War with the Soviet Union, which was sometimes colder and sometimes became quite hot. And then suddenly the Russians put this Sputnik around, flying around the planet. And American pride could not deal with that. So how is it possible they can't do this? Okay, now we have to, we have to forge ahead. We have to do something more space exploration than they do. And then suddenly the American government poured huge sums of money into American education in science and mathematics. So now we have to, do something. So anyway, Prabhupada saw this news and he thought, oh, they want to go to other planets. How silly. And then he wrote this little book to explain, you want to go to other planets. This is how you do it. But why would you want to go to other planets when the real point is to go beyond this world, to the spiritual world? Vraja Mohini, you have your hand up. Did you want to comment?
Not to comment exactly, Guru Maharaj, but I wanted to share one wonder I had while reading a small description of the universe of material and spiritual manifestations that Srila Prabhupada was writing about in the second canto, 9th chapter. Well, in one purport, Srila Prabhupada was saying again, after saying it elsewhere many times, that 1/4 of the whole creation is material manifestation and 3/4 is spiritual.
Yeah.
And then he was telling how they are unlimited, all of them are unlimited, and how they are separated by the Viraj river. And reading this, I was wondering always, like, a river goes on a surface. And, how does a river separate a three-dimensional realm?
Yeah.
And another wonder is, of course, if something is unlimited, then 3/4 and 1/4 are practically the same size. So what does it mean that one is bigger than the other?
This was spoken by a true mathematician, your question, to let the other devotees know you are a mathematician. And so you're saying unlimited times 3 is unlimited, right? So what's the difference? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, there is a comment saying that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada argues that material world is limited in the chat by Bhakti Sanga.
Yes, that's right.
Let me check one thing, Guru Maharaj.
That's he's bringing another topic.
Yeah.
So, well, all I can say is to the 1/4 unlimited, 3/4 unlimited. It just reminds me of the idea of perfect, more perfect, and most perfect that we get regarding the 3 dhammas, right? Dvaraka is perfect, Mathura is more perfect, and Vrindavan is most perfect. What does that mean? Perfect is perfect. Well, yes, but we're talking about spiritual things, and so these terms get a different way of understanding.
Yes, and I'm actually wondering, because of my particular way of looking at these, will I ever get it right? Because I try to start from very firm definitions and then try to proceed, but this is probably not how to see it.
Indeed, I think we have to fall back on, if we want to use any kind of logic, then probably the best we would have to do is, but you may know more about this, is to resort to what's called fuzzy logic.
Mm.
But I think fuzzy logic has some sort of precise technical meanings, which I don't know. But I know there's this thing called fuzzy logic. Have you studied fuzzy logic at all in your mathematics studies?
No, not really. We didn't have fuzzy logic.
Okay. Well, there is something called fuzzy logic. So it might be a chance for us to escape from the hard edges of otherwise, definitions to specify things, but I don't know. So all I can do at this point is, as you say, to wonder. It's something to wonder about. And wonder, I always like to remember Gabriel Marcel, the French philosopher. I was trying to find the direct quote of this, but I was unable. A 20th century French philosopher, Christian theologian, philosopher, who said that there's three things. There are puzzles, problems, and mysteries. And if I remember right, a puzzle is something you can work out yourself. A problem is something you might need help in solving, but you can solve it. And a mystery is something which the more you pursue it, the deeper the mystery gets. A real mystery is not something you solve. And I think this is where we have sort of a problem, that we think, okay, we're gonna figure it all out, and then what? Then what? Oh, now we've got it figured out. What shall we do next? So there's a mystery, and the mystery is, because it's about Krishna's material energy, it's attractive and intriguing, and we want to try to understand, but it's a mystery. And so it's going to only become more of a mystery as we search for understanding. Well, on that mysterious note, I think we come to time to end for today. Next week, I think I'll be able to have another session as far as things are looking at present, but we will let you know. And for now, I'll just say thank you very much for joining us, and have a nice day today and a nice week, and chant and be happy. And Prema Sarovar is very busy cooking, I see. I recognize the apartment. Looks like she's having a party or something. Anyway, all right. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Vaishnavarinda ki jai.
Jai.
Gaur Prem Ananta. Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Kshetra Maharaj. Thank you.